I'm going to show you how to bulk send personalized email using just Google Sheet and Gmail. So without further ado, let's get into it. Over here, you can see that I've opened up a Google Sheet, and in this Google Sheet, I have a few columns that I'll be going through one by one. In column A, I have the email of the recipient. In column B, this is the name of the person who's going to be receiving the email. And column C is the name of the company for this person. And column D is the subject of the email. Column E is the body of the email. And of course, column F will indicate the status, telling us whether this particular email has been sent or not. I want to direct your attention to the subject and the body. If you look at the subject, you notice that I have this word that is enclosed in curly braces. The same for company. And if you look at the body as well, person is enclosed in curly braces as well as the word company. Right? The reason I'm doing this is because before we actually send out this email, I would like the subject and the body to contain the actual value for the person as well as the company. So in this case, before we actually send out the email, the subject will be for NG-beauty spa. As for the body, it's going to be hi NG, I admire your work in beauty spa. So that is the purpose of it, right? So I hope that gives you a clear understanding of why I'm putting these curly braces. So now that you have this understanding, I'll proceed on to write the script to send out this personalized email. So to do that, we'll need to open up the extensions and click App Script. Now that App Script has been loaded, let's change the App Script project name first. Let's call it Send Personalized Email. Right. As for the function, we're going to rename it and call it Send Bulk. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. Send bulk emails, right? This is a function that we will be using. And for this function, the very first thing we need to do is to access the active spreadsheet, right? And to do that, we need to use spreadsheet app.get active spreadsheet. Basically, what this does is that it will connect straight to the app, to the spreadsheet that is directly connected to this Google App Script. And from this active spreadsheet, we will need to get sheet by name, right? So which one is it that we are getting? So we can take a look at our Google Sheet. So we're gonna get this sheet by the name, and in this case, it's gonna be emails, okay? Emails. So make sure that you spell word for word, case by case. If it's uppercase, make sure that it's uppercase as well in Google App Script. Okay, let's paste it over here. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do is to get the data range from the sheet. So get data range, and for the next variable, we would like to get the actual data from this data range. Get values. So what this does is that we are going to get the entire values in that whole table. Next thing, we need to access the header. So data 0, right? So basically this header, it is referring to this entire header over here, the one that I just highlighted. Okay, let's go back to our app script. So now that we have the header, we would like to get the index for each of these variable. For example, email, person, company, subject, body, and status. We want to know what is the index of all these columns. So let's go back to the app script. The first one we'll need to get is the email column, right? So for the email column, we can type header dot index of, and we're going to search for this element. The element name is called email. Okay, make sure that it matches. So I put email here. That is because I uses the word email over here. For the next variable, it's just going to be person. I'm going to be spelling it character by character, exact match. Person column header index of person. Okay, I'll do the same for the next column, and that is company. Company column header dot index of company. Column D is a subject. Subject column header index of, this is the subject. After the subject, column E is the body. body column, header, index of body, and of course for the last column is the status column, header, index of status. Right, so now that we have the index of all the columns, the next thing that we like to do is to start iterating through each of the row. So to do that, we will need to use a for loop. Let I equals to 1 and I less than the total length, which is the total number of rows. In this case, it's going to be data.length I plus plus. Okay, you may be wondering why I'm using 1 instead of 0. The reason is because if you take a look at our data over here, this first row is index 0. We want to start iterating from the second row onwards, and the second row onwards is index 1. So that is the reason why I put 1 over here. Now, let's get the row data. To get the row data, I'm going to call data I, and I'm going to try to get the status value. Row. For the entire row, okay, let us reference back to Google Sheet. For this entire row, we want to actually get this status value. Okay, this status value. So in this case, we're gonna access this the index, the value for the status using the status index. Status column. That's how we're gonna get it. All right. Next thing that we need to do is to check if the status is not completed. So to do that, we're going to use an if-else statement. Status is not equals to completed. All right. Now, the next thing that we'll need to do is to access the actual value for each of the column that we have referenced over here. Now, I'm going to get the email. So to get the email, I'm going to use the same technique. Column email. Column, get a person name, person column, company name, row, company column. I'm gonna get the subject as well, subject column, and I'm gonna get the content, the body content, and it's gonna be body column. Okay, and I think I have enough information now. Okay, the next thing that I'd like to do is to replace the placeholders in the email subject and body with this dynamic content. So what am I actually talking about? So if you take a look at our Google Sheet, we are using this dynamic variable symbol. So we like to replace this with the actual value for the person as well as the company name. So let's do that. And to do that, let me use this variable and kind of call it updated subject. For the updated subject, it's gonna be subject replace the person with this value. So what is this value that we are going to be getting? It is person. Oh, instead of const, I'm going to use let. I'm going to update the subject by replacing the company name as well with company. Now I'm going to do the same for the updated body. For the updated body, it's going to be body.replace. I'm going to replace the person name as well. Updated body, replace updated subject is equals to the replace value. I'm I'm going to do the same for the company as well. Alright, so now I have the updated subject and the updated body. The last thing that I'm going to do is to actually send the email. And to send the email, I'm going to use Gmail app dot send email, and I'm going to pass in the email as the recipient, and I'm going to include the updated subject followed by the updated body. So once the email has been successfully sent, I would like to update the status column to indicate that the email has been sent. So to do that, I'm going to use sheet.getRange I plus 1, and for the status column, for the column index, I'm going to use this and set value, and I'm going to send it as completed. Alright, now we're gonna test this out. So now you can see the status is empty. So how do we test this out? So to test this out, okay, let me just save the project first. To test it out, all I have to do is to select this function name over here and click run. Okay, just click run. So if you're starting this project for the first time, you will most likely face this requirement to authorize the access for this project. So you just have to click review permissions and then choose your account. If you see this page as well, if it tells you that it hasn't been verified, don't worry, just click advanced and click this unsafe link. Just click on it, and it will ask you to grant access again. Just click allow. Alright, you can see that the function is starting, execution started, and execution completed. Alright, so if you take a look at Google Sheet, you can see that the status is now completed. If I take a look at the email right now, you can see that the email has successfully been sent out. The person name has been replaced accordingly, and of course it's the same for the company name as well. If you followed along up to this point, good job to you. I've provided the link to download the code in the description below. I hope you find this video useful, and if you do me a small favor. Give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.